All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to "She Wants Forgiveness" after racking up a high body count. Let's jump in.
I think that if you are wanting a traditional relationship with someone who wants to live a biblical life, just because you have a dark past with a high body count, our Father has given us the gift of forgiveness. If you're living a new life and have been living a new life for years, that's what should matter. So here, I'll start from the beginning. Just because you have a dark past with a high body count, our Father has given us the gift of forgiveness. If you are living a new life and have been living a new life for years, that's what should matter. Nobody is perfect.
Yeah, I think, God gives us the opportunity to be born again and be new people. And, if you've been living a new life, you let your old self die. I think everybody should deserve, another chance. Nobody's perfect. We all struggle with different things. And like I said, I think we all have an opportunity to let our old selves die and be a new person if we are living in Christ.
Yeah, sure. I think that being forgiven for those things is not only appropriate, but what Christians are called to do, right? Is to ask for forgiveness for their sins, right? That's what they're supposed to do. But you wouldn't say a Christian's obligated to in any way date or not reject a woman based on body count, right?
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying that
if a
everybody
guy
should
was a
have that
Christian
chance.
and he met with a Christian woman and he really liked her, he thought she was great, but found out that she had slept with 50 men. And he was like, well, that's a deal breaker for me. You don't have an objection to that, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, so then in some ways, I think that this is just a cope position. And the reason I think it's a cope position is because what happens is many of these women go from literal online whoredom, where they're like doing boy-girl content on and things like this, and they go, oh, well, shit, it's 30, time to get married, drop out of that, and then move over and say, now I'm a Christian. But then they get into the dating market as a Christian, and these men are like, well, I'm still not interested in you, even though I'm a Christian, right? Aren't they still setting themselves up for massive failure here? Like, sure, God forgave you. Great, and I'm glad you're a Christian. I'm still not dating you, right? Isn't that what they're going to say?
I mean, like, even with age, that stuff makes you less optimal than dating. Like you were saying, your childbearing years are when you're younger. So, I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really understand what the point is then. Like, they understand. I mean, Christians understand the forgiveness aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not everybody has a perfect past. A lot of people were raised with traumatic life events where...
There we go. There we go, folks. Trauma. Therefore, you have to forgive me for the trauma. Hey, there's nothing wrong to really ask for forgiveness. I think that's important. You should even do it to yourself. Talk to God and Jesus, and ask for forgiveness. However, there's a path that needs to be taken here, and people don't have to accept it. You still have a past. I think a lot of people don't understand that. And they always say that just to cope.
Sure.
They didn't have both parents in the household. They didn't know, what being loved by both parents was, or, grew up with a bad past.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Yeah.
But I'm not... Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's probably in reference to the episode that I was on where the girl became a Christian, and then Brian's like, kind of late now. Like, I think that's probably less of the Christian.
He was probably so if it came to this idea of sexual dynamics, then it's becoming a Christian's not going to erase your sexual history.
I think pretty much only Christians will be the ones if they hold that view that would kind of be forgiving of it.
Oh, they'll forgive it. That doesn't mean that they're gonna. That doesn't mean that they're gonna, put a ring on it, though.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And they don't have to.
So.
Not liking that, huh? She's not liking that, huh? They don't have to. Of course, they don't have to. She's not liking that.
So is that it? That's your position?
Yeah.
So, when you say forgive, okay, so you can be forgiven through your faith or whatever, but you think it's objectionable if men would refuse to date you because of your dark past of a high body count?
I mean, I'm not saying it's objectionable. I just think that other people with similar pasts look at it like it's bad, like, oh, you can't do that, but I can do it. Kind of like.
What was that?
Why would that be a problem?
It's giving, like, it's saying that women can't have bad past, but the guy can have a bad past. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
that's.
well, I mean, it's so this just comes down to preferences, right? So it's like this idea is, okay, let us assume for a moment you have a man, he converts around the same time you do. Let's assume inside the hypothetical.
Man, that tattoo here in the middle, ugh. That was so bad. I'm sorry, folks. Let me just move here to the middle a little bit. Because this dynamic here is very important. This is very important. I'm not a professional when it comes down to body language, but I like to see how people react when this comes down, when they do this. Let me just move over here. I think this is better.
You slept with 1,000 people, okay? Not saying you have, of course not. I'm just saying in the hypothetical, we're just like assuming this, right? Doesn't even have to be you. Just woman, man, both of them slept with 1,000 guys or people. They converted at the exact same time. They meet each other. They like each other. They both find out that the other one has slept with 1,000 people. It's a deal breaker for the guy, not for the girl. Says, well, wait a second. You slept with 1,000 too. He says, yeah, but I don't care. I still don't want to date you based on the fact that you have. I still don't actually see a problem with that. Like, I can't figure out what the actual issue with that would be.
I mean, yeah, I guess everybody has their own preferences, but yeah, I don't think it would be okay if both people have similar dark pasts and one person's like, no, I don't. It's okay that I did it, but it's not okay that you did it.
Well, no. Well, you're both starting from the same slate, though. So you both have been forgiven for the sins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're both pursuing Christianity, Christian ethics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're starting equal. So he just says, okay, based on your past, I'm not interested.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
don't
that.
agree with that. I don't think that's okay.
Why is that not okay?
It's kind of hypocritical.
Yeah, but so what? Why can't you be hypocritical in dating preferences?
Because I think you
Like
should hold your.
I definitely, 100%, right, think that if you've ever slept with a guy, right, that it would be a deal breaker with you if a guy ever slept with another guy. Would that be a deal breaker?
If a guy that I slept with.
If a guy slept with another guy, would that be a deal breaker for you?
Yeah.
Have you ever slept with a guy? Fucking hypocrite. You tell me, have you ever slept with a guy?
Oh, that
Hypocrite?
was so
Have you?
good. That was so good. That was so good. Basically, this is a skill, right? A lot of closers they use. They just bring the point, right, back to them, right? I don't know how they call this in debate taxes, but it's basically bringing that point back to them, right? He knows the answer, but she doesn't know the answer. That's the most important thing, because sometimes guys do ask questions, but they already know the answer, and that's when they start, going back and forward. And they don't want to answer the question. He asked the question. Hey, do you think if a guy's sleeping with another guy, would that be the deal breaker? Yes, it will be. And then he go back and said like, you think it will be okay if a guy say is a deal breaker if you sleep with another guy? I don't think so. Wow, how hypocritical. Yeah, it's very interesting how he does that. I think that's the magic of Andrew Wilson. He can break that idea very good.
Yeah, but not with somebody of the same sex.
So what? You still slept with a man, and he slept with a man. Why would that be a deal breaker, hypocrite?
Because
Okay,
one
there you
involves
go.
homosexuality and the other doesn't. Andrew,
Well, wait
you're
a second.
better than
Wait.
this. Come on.
Are they both sleeping with men?
Weak argument.
Are they both sleeping
You
with
can do
men?
better.
I'll refute it.
One has to do with homosexuality,
So?
which doesn't align with Christian values.
Okay, wait a second. That wasn't my question. My question had nothing to do with Christian values. My question was, would you ever date a guy who slept with a guy? Answer is no. Okay, but he's expected to sleep with you who slept with another guy. It's like, okay, that would be hypocrisy. Tell me how it wouldn't be.
Because she probably wants men who are attracted to women.
They could still be attracted to women.
She would. Okay. Are they?
Only attracted to women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. So what? So we could reduce anything that way, in fact. We could just endlessly make reductions.
Sure, but you should probably. Can you give a better?
Why do I
more
need to give a
closely aligned argument?
As soon as you give a logical refutation of the first argument,
But you were the initial person arguing.
Nope, she was. She said it's a hypocrisy.
I mean, he's good.
I
He's
gave
good.
A counter
This
example.
is Andrew level 9,000.
Hypocrisy. You have refuted not my example of hypocrisy.
You're just not accepting that it's a false equivalency.
What's false about the equivalency?
One involves homosexuality, the other does not.
Oh, okay. So anytime that you make an analogy between two things
like
which are
it, huh?
hypocrisy, you agree they're always going to be different, right?
Well,
Hang on. You agree with me
Good.
that anything you compare to
Good.
anything else is always going to be different than the thing you're comparing it to?
I think you can compare things that are a little bit more closely
Not my
aligned.
question. You're evading.
No, I don't.
Is every instance of hypocrisy is going to be different than another? So anytime you say you're a hypocrite, no, you're a hypocrite, you both have done hypocritical things that are not the same thing. So really don't know where you're...
I think you do know.
No.
But,
No,
but
no.
okay.
No,
in
you're
this
not. You're
case,
still
like,
not
I
doing
feel
it.
like we're like, why would you not sleep with a man who slept with another man? Is it because it's because of the homosexuality, right?
Yeah, That's,
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
talking
okay,
about
okay,
biblical-
great.
I'm
If you
talking
weren't a
about
Christian, would
biblical
you?
living. What's that?
If you weren't a Christian, would you sleep with a guy who slept with a guy? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, but
So-
it's still about the homosexuality.
Oh, wait.
Oops.
The entailment of the homosexuality here would be it's sinful. If you're a secularist, you can't say it's sinful, right?
Oh, good point. Good point. Good point. Unless you're a Christian, you can use the argument. Hey, based on Christianity, it's sinful. You're secular. What kind of argument or line of thinking you're thinking that is wrong? That is a good question, actually. That's a very good question.
Is that the-
Well, I
you would
mean,
just say it's gross. It's
Yeah,
gross.
okay, sure.
Say it's
if,
not
if
your
that's
thing.
what you think.
So there's nothing wrong with having the preference of it's gross, even if you've done the exact same thing.
There's nothing wrong.
Look
with
at her.
having
Look
the
at her.
preference
Look
of
at
thinking
her.
something.
I agree.
Little
So
libertarian
you're
girl
saying
is not.
This is hypocrisy.
not getting it.
Great. This is
Or
hypocrisy.
she's getting it, but she's like, man, he's so good, these arguments. Because you have to understand this, guys. These are females that never had the opportunity to sit down with somebody mature enough to really go against these ideas. Because I'm going to tell you, it sounds crazy because Andrew's good at this. But believe me, guys, dismantling these kind of ideas is very difficult. It requires a lot of skill. Why it requires a lot of skill? Because they're insane. You see what I'm saying? And you require a way of just putting together a puzzle. Imagine if you have a 2,000 puzzle, a puzzle of 2,000 pieces. All of a sudden, you have to start putting it together in minutes, right? Metaphorically, of course. And we know that if you do it physically, it'll be very hard, but metaphorically. It requires that level of quickness to make sure you can refute these kind of arguments. Even when I hear him, I'm like, oh man, okay, that makes sense. We bring him back home. Very interesting.
Hypocrisy too.
Well, she can also choose to reject him based on his past.
Correct. Same. Even
Like-
if she had the exact same equivalency.
Like I would do it if the compatibility was there enough, but I don't necessarily want to date somebody with kids. You know what I mean? Even though I have them, so I get it.
How many kids
Fucking
do you have?
hypocrite.
I have two.
You
Damn.
wouldn't date a guy who has kids?
I would if we were like super compatible, but it's not gonna be the top of my list by far.
Hypocrisy.
Exactly. Like I'm owning it though.
Okay, she's giving in.
It's
She's
actually
giving
fine.
in.
Like it's fine to entertain hypocrisy when it comes to dating preferences.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea why it wouldn't be. Like I'll give you a million more examples, right? You probably would prefer to have men who are taller than you,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not requiring like 6 foot or anything.
but you would probably like it, right?
There we go.
Would you reject a guy based on the fact that he wasn't taller than you?
Not always necessarily.
No. What if he was bald?
No, I like that.
Okay. What if he was like really heinously ugly?
No, I think there should be some physical attraction. Not,
there has to be.
Not, it doesn't have to be like head over heels instantly, but I think there definitely needs to be some sort of.
So you can think of probably all kinds of preferences and traits that you would like, right, to have in the other partner, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's back up and take kind of a bird's eye view. When you're talking about an argument from hypocrisy, the reason that it's fallacious to begin with, like, oh, you're a hypocrite, you should do this preferential thing that I like, is because it actually doesn't make any sense. because whatever standard you're holding them to, you could easily be held to the exact same standard back, and you would likely be a hypocrite when it came to dating. Like, for instance, you probably think a guy who has brown eyes, it's okay for him to reject a girl who has brown eyes. Is that hypocrisy?
No.
Why? Why not? Why not?
They have a right to choose what
They have a right. They have a right to choose based on their preferences, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they both have the same body count, why can't he just still say, no, it's too high?
I don't know. I think that's a different level of standards
Why?
that people hold to each other. Like, I guess what my take is, it's just a lot of people overlook the forgiveness aspect. And I'm not saying that if you don't want to make that choice to be with that person because of their past, like, I'm not saying that that's not okay, but, you know, I just think that...
Do you think that people who have had children, have SA children, can be forgiven? I mean, they can be forgiven, right?
They can be forgiven, yeah.
You gonna let them watch your kids?
No.
No. So just because you've been forgiven for a thing, right?
There we go.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There
doesn't
we go.
necessarily mean that suddenly, oh, well, we're just going to look
There we
past
go.
what you did, right?
That's the point. That's the point right there. And I think personally, that's what Christianity has missed. That part right there is what Christianity has missed. Why? We lost track. Feminism is taking over. We got very weak, emotional, and you can see in churches, right? They get very emotional and stuff like that. They're not stoic about the word of God. But I don't want to get into with Christianity and all that stuff. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.